Welcome to Real Talk with Arieta and
Sera.
Ooh, sing it, girl.
So, we've had an awesome Real Talk
today. There was a lot of energy, there was some moments of vulnerability, but a lot of
truth.
Yeah, and so much encouragement, a lot of like, slay queen, yes girl, amen.
So this week's talk was about body image. Yeah.
If there's anything we realized is everyone has a very different body image story.
Yes.
And like every story is valid.
Yes.
And we were able to sit down with two wonderful guests, Asanate and Rhonda.
Yes.
And both of them represent two different journeys. So we have Asanate, who, as you watch, you'll see her story, and Rhonda, who has transitioned from being a mom and her journey of coming to accept her body through every stage.
Yes, and us too, of course, because we've both had different experiences with our relationships with our bodies.
Absolutely.
And so we got to share, and it's a real conversation. So we found it really engaging, really fun, and a lot of laughs as well, and some tears as always.
Clinking glasses.
Yep, we had a lot of fun. So we really invite you to join this Real Talk and have fun with us. And you know, we'd love to hear your insights and your feedback as always. And it
was a lot of fun. And yeah, come with an open heart.
Yep.
And we truly hope that you'd be encouraged and inspired, because we definitely were along the way with these two guests.
Cheers! Today we want to talk about body image.
Yes.
Because we all have had different experiences, but I think we can all add to the conversation.
For my body image, it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a massive journey. You don't just love yourself like this.
No.
Yeah.
And especially from a young age, you know what I mean? People are just like, oh, you're a big girl. You know what I mean? Like, you're a big girl. And I'm just like, I'm not just a big girl. You know what I mean? Like, the thing with body image is that we worry so much about what people think about our bodies.
Yeah.
And just being there, I don't know, trying to live up to the expectation of what is beautiful.
Yeah.
But beautiful come different shapes, sizes, shades. Look at all these shades. You know what I mean? So that's how, like, it's hard, but I'm willing to challenge it. And I'm willing to really fight for what I believe in, like how women should be respected and just owning who they are.
Yeah.
And the image that they are, you know what I mean?
Is that something that you were taught at home, or is that something you learned for yourself?
I think for me personally, I'm able to express myself because of my parents' love within me.
Yeah.
They literally told me, like, Sonata, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, thanks, mom. So I didn't care what anyone's told me about whether I looked ugly or whatever. My parents told me that I was beautiful.
Yeah, right.
And it's not just because of what I wear, it's because of the woman I am. You know what I mean? They saw my heart. And I think, and it just helped even more. My mom was just like, yeah, so not them. Like, you know, wear what you want to wear.
Yeah.
I think that really sewed into me, just really like, my parents were able to love me, so I was like, why can't I love myself?
Yeah.
And it's just like, they see me for who I am. And then that's why I was like, I've got this, you know what I mean? And my siblings all say the same.
Yeah.
When I go out, they're like, I feel like you look nice. I was like, oh, thank you.
I think like listening to that, like a person's perception of body image really begins at home.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Like how your parents speak to you, how your siblings speak to you will ultimately feed how you see yourself.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Because for us, I think it started at home too. Like mum would always tell Sarah and I, you guys look beautiful. And I think like a big thing when we were younger was like with the Fijian community, sort of like going to Fiji Day, like you sort of looked upon if you're wearing mini shorts or like a singlet and stuff. And my mum and dad really separated us from the Fijian community, and it wasn't to be stuck up, but the only Fijians I knew was literally my first cousins and second cousin.
Wow.
We didn't socialize with Fijians outside of that. But then like just going to church, like I felt it as a young person, like probably as a 6 or 7 year old, I felt it when girls were distant from me going to church. I remember one time I went to church and one of the girls were like, oh, you're wearing earrings. And I was like, so it's like, you're not allowed to wear earrings. Like, you know, just, and it really made me just go into my short. But then going home, my mum and dad would be like, if you want to wear shorts, you wear shorts. And my brothers, Fijians too, but their mindset was never like, you have to wear a long skirt. Like they really encouraged us, girls, if you guys want to wear shorts, wear your shorts. It's how you carry yourself when you dress. So we always went out there like that. So I never really cared about what anyone else said. And 100% it starts at home. Like before I walk out, it's my parents were the first ones telling me I look beautiful. Like you need a family like our family. Because when we come out, you're like, yes, girl, you're I'm like, well, I still get it. And then I come out and now my siblings are like, yes, you'll be smart. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Like it's so so true. And I think it's interesting hearing you talk about it from a cultural perspective, because I actually find that my Fijian family are more accepting than my Tongan side.
Yeah.
And actually it's not really my family, it's more the Tongan community.
Yeah.
Where my mum would always say to me, like, and especially when we were in Tongan spaces and stuff, like, she would always say, you look beautiful, Luvengu, but you know, you have to always remember that modesty is so important. Yeah. And like my poor mum, bless her heart, because she still tells it every few years, like at the same lecture. And you know, I know where it's coming from. Because culturally that's how she's been brought up, and that's what her mother taught her. And those are the values that have been instilled in her. But for me, it always kind of went in one ear and out the other. And it wasn't because of modesty, it was more because of comfort. And so like, I guess it's interesting, because what my mum used to say to me, it didn't really impact me in a negative way because she was coming from a loving place. Whereas I think if she was putting me down and saying like, you know, you don't look good, you shouldn't, like, she'd always say, Luvengu, you do look beautiful in what you're wearing, but just be mindful, like, you know, your brothers are here, you know, you should just cover up a little bit, you know, and it's more of a sign of respect. This is our culture. Poor mom, I'd always be like, yes, mom, then like, take it off. It depends on how things are told to you in the home. Like, so if my mom was like, oh, you look terrible, like you look ugly in that, like, cover up, like that's a different message.
Completely.
So I think when you have daughters, and also when you have sons, it's so important how you tell them, like, whatever values you're trying to instill in them. And I think body image is so important, because they go out into the world and they're hammered. We are hammered with so many messages. Like society tells us. Like, I remember when I was in primary school in Australia, I was always considered chubby, and in high school as well. But then when I went to Tonga, I was like average. Like, because Islanders always look older and bigger, like body size. Always older and bigger, and like as girls we develop a little bit quicker. But then when you're in the islands, it's like just normal. So I remember that, and when I came back, like I was so chubby, but I had all this confidence because I was like, this is just acceptable in my head. And I just had this little swag because I was like, I thought it was so cute, which I was. Just like your environment has a big impact on how you think. So it's important that you have a good foundation, because when you go out into the world, you know, you just get hammered by your environment and by society and media and advertising and your peers at school. Like, kids can be so cruel, and even adults can be so like mean.
That's real.
The little side comments, like even in the workplace, you know, people have said things, and you just, if you have a strong foundation, you can ignore it. You know, you kind of just know just to be like, whatever. Haters.
I feel like social media does hammer us. Like, not like you think about it, printed media is a dying art. Like, no one's really investing into it. Everyone knows that everything's online. And because online is so easily accessible, like the things of being able to compare yourself and like, I think comparison is like the biggest thing I struggle with when it comes to like body image. Because you're like, I'm tall, I'm lanky, and I'm like, and I go to the gym and I know that I'm quite broad as well. And I'm like, it doesn't look like the beautiful that I see on like Instagram. I'm like, that's really beautiful, that's what I want. But I'm like trying to find that balance of like, use social media for the right reasons, but don't let it contradict how you see yourself. Like for you, because I know that you did Pacific Runway 2 years. Slay. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. So like with that, like you're obviously on this platform, and like Pacific Runway is now a growing platform, especially here within Sydney. How did you find that experience of like coming through your journey, like you said, all in a journey, and then being able to walk on the runway, having cameras and having so many eyes on you? Like, I want to know, like, what convinced you? Like, you're like, okay, I got this, I want to do this, and then coming out on the other end, how do you feel like it's empowered you?
I feel like when I first did Pacific Runway 2 years ago for Baby Designs, and I think I was like, oh my god, this is not me. It's not me. Like, I was like, I like dressing up, like I like wearing colors and everything, but it was like, to walk a runway, it's like, it's completely different. It's completely different than just standing still and taking a picture, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you are walking, you are owning yourself.
The energy,
you have like all these flashing cameras, people yelling, like, what the hell? And I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this. But after that, when I did that first runway, I was like, oh my god, that is me, and I do that. Like, I saw the pictures, I'm like, wow. Because I wasn't part of Pacific Runway, I was actually came as like a guest for for the designer.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh my god. And then this year was like they asked me to be part of it. So I was like, yes, I'm part of the team, I'm representing. Yeah. And it was just completely different to be part of an like phenomenal woman, different sides. We had like a one designer that showcased all designers, like all sizes. So there's a bunch of us curvy women army, literally.
Wow.
And we walked to Queen Nicki Minaj. Can you imagine that? Like, it was like, no! And it was just like, I think when I'm on that runway, I forget everything. Honestly, I forget everything.
Yeah.
And something, like, trust me, you don't realize how much something comes over me. Like, it's just like, you're in that moment and you're just like, I'm owning myself and I'm gonna walk. And when I walked, it was just, I just don't know how to explain how I felt. Like, I feel like I've conquered something.
Yeah.
In a sense where it's just like, this is my body.
Yeah.
And look at all these people cheering me on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And action and photos and lights everywhere. You know, lights don't really show the good angles. But when you're on that runway, you don't care.
Yeah.
Because you're just there. And because you know you're representing a community. And you know you're representing your fellow Pacific Islander women.
Yeah.
With hips, ass and everything. And just walking proudly with like, and just showcasing the love that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I was just like, oh my god, this is me. And I think like this year I did 5 walks. I was only meant to do 2 walks. And for me to even walk for 5 designers was major for me.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, because I was expecting to fit into all these other dresses and stuff, but I did, and I was just like, I think people don't realize how much. I think like you said, your surrounding impacts who you are.
Yeah.
And like walking, I was like, this is me. But then, yes, you can speak so much love into yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm someone, yes, I love myself. Yes, I am beautiful. Yes, I am bold. Yes, you know, all those words of affirmation you speaking to yourself. But when you have a community or your system around you uplifts you, that is just on another level.
Yeah.
It's very hard to put yourself in a vulnerable position.
Yeah. To be seen.
To be seen. And people don't realize that it's, for us, especially curvy women, it's a journey.
Yeah.
And it's, sorry.
That's okay.
It's, you know, like, shit. I want to cry. But like, it's hard just to, you know, really love yourself for who you are, especially when people around you are like, this is like, I think one of the most things I hate was when people come to me and they're like, you've lost weight, sit up there. You've put weight, sit up there. And it's just like, for me to lose weight or put weight, is that for you to recognize my beauty? Do you know what I mean? And I think if people change the narrative and just say, you know, if you haven't seen someone in so long and be like, hey, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
Why do we have to lose weight to be beautiful? Or put on weight, you know what I mean? And I think I have battled my demons with trying to love myself. Like just, and it's just not, because I think people don't realize that this is who I am, this is my soul. This is, sorry, I want to cry.
Oh, it's
fine. It's just,
don't be sorry.
You definitely are changing perceptions and making a positive impact. And I think it's come at a price. Like, you know, sometimes we see people who are so brave and courageous, but we don't know the journey that they've taken to get there. So cheers to you,
Thank
sister.
you. Cheers. Oh, I love you.
That was amazing.
Too. And well, speaking of a journey, like, I think something, Rhonda, that we were really interested in was wanting to hear your experience of how it's been for you since having a baby.
It's so funny because when you fall pregnant, well, my mentality was like, oh, you're just gonna get the bump and that's it. But like your body, man, a woman's body, it just changes. Like the more, and I think maybe as I got to my 2nd and 3rd trimester, the more my body was stretching and I looked at myself in the mirror, there was no self-love there. There was no self-love at all. Like, and like the only person that saw me cry was my husband. Like, I was just like, oh, I look so yuck. Look at me. Like, I can't fit my clothes anymore. I remember just having to go and buy my first set of maternity pants during my pregnancy. And I cried. And maybe it was the hormones, but I'm just like, and then one time I sat there and like, everyone has their belief, but I was like, I just prayed and I'm like, I'm so sorry, like how selfish of me, like you've blessed me with a child and then I'm here complaining about my body stretching. And I just got after saying that prayer, it was just like, as much as my body was stretching and changing and making me feel uncomfortable, it was literally creating a safe space and a home in my womb for my baby. And at that moment I was like, forget what you think, forget about your body, this is about your child now. And I felt like that was my first act as a mother. when she was in my womb, where I was like, it's not about you, it's about her, and it's about, and I see Willie now and I'm like, oh, you were so worth stretching and these hips, like, I know. And then you go through the pregnancy and I was all for like, hashtag dress the bump and all this stuff, and then I gave birth. But then I went through this whole phase again. Like, you think there's an automatic, like a snapback after you give birth. But it isn't. And it's because I was following all these mothers on social media that instantly snapped back. Like, they gave birth and they were back to like their pre-pregnancy bodies. And I was like, that's going to happen for me. But it didn't. Like, I put on 40 kilos during my pregnancy. And then after giving birth to Willow, like, oh man, like that was a real struggle for me. Like, I was just like trying things on. Like, I remember after giving birth, I think 3 weeks later we had like a birthday, and then I had to go and do some shopping to try and find a dress. And to being that person that goes in and picks one dress and that fits me straight away, and then I walk out, I had to go through like 4 or 5 dresses, and I got to a point where I was like, oh no, it's all right, like I won't get anything. And I was like, I don't want to go. Like, I just had to really like sit down and reassess myself. And I'm like, at this point, what everyone else was saying to me, like it just went through one ear and out the other. Like, you could at that moment you could tell me I'm beautiful and you look fine and don't worry, you just gave birth. But I was just like, nah. If I wasn't loving myself, I wasn't accepting it from anybody else.
That's the point I wanted to make. That to us, you look beautiful before and you look beautiful after. But it's all about how you perceive your own body.
And to me, I was just like, oh. And then after that, I was like, no. And then we ended up going to birthday, came back, and then like, God bless my husband. Like, he just knows when like I'm not in the right space, and he's like, what's wrong? And I start crying, and I'm like, I don't know. And like, I just feel like yuck, everything I wear, like I can't wear what I used to wear. And it's like, it's okay, you're beautiful, I love you, I don't care. I'm like, do you care how I look? Like, you know, because then you start to question, like I don't look the same as what he saw me to be 8 years ago. I don't have the same body as I did when I was 17 years old, or even on the year that we got married when I was 22. Like, my body has changed dramatically. And take away all my clothes, at the end of the day, no one knows what I look like except my husband. Like, let's be real. And Sera, because she was in the room when I gave birth. And from then my mindset just changed. Like, I was just like, why am I embarrassed of my body? Like, my body is fucking amazing. Like, I carried a child, I gave birth to her, like, and look, here she is. And I'm like, if my body had to change for that, so be it. And you know, like, I remember like scrolling through social media and I saw like a mother post something about, you know, don't be ashamed to post a picture of your body like after you've given birth. And I thought, that's great, like that's encouraging, but it's also cutting a few women as well. Like, you know, at 3 months, at 3 months, I'm like, I have that confidence. Like, I'm starting to feel like I have that snapback confidence. I'm like, but just because I'm confident, I'm not going to go and post on social media. But if I'm not posting it, does that make me less confident? Do I not have the same confidence as that mother because I don't want to post it up? And I feel like that's where society just sort of like pushes on us. And it's sad because you go through it as a teenager, teenage girls looking up to all these like superstars. And then you go through it when you're in your adulthood, like, oh, that woman is beautiful, I wish I could be like her. And I'm like, but whoever thought that even after you become a mother, you're still comparing yourself, but now you're comparing yourself not to the 15-year-old or not to that adult, like that's nice and independent and has a nice body. You're comparing yourself to other mothers because your body isn't like that. And I'm like, nah, that's not how it should be. And I feel like not enough people speak about it. Like, I'm not gonna go now and post the body and be like, and this is my body, da 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 da. But I'm confident. Like, maybe I wasn't that confident when I was like had just given birth, but my confidence now, like, I absolutely love myself. Like,
so real. If there was one thing you could encourage any viewer right now with when it comes to body image, something that you've learned in your own journey and would like to share with anyone that's sort of unsure about body image or going through a season where it's really tough with them coming to terms with their own body image, if there's one gem you could leave them with, what would it be?
I've learned, and very important lesson too, and something that I hold really close to my heart, is that your body is your constant companion. It comes into this world with you and it leaves this world with you, and it is so loyal to you. No matter what you put your body through, it's always trying to heal itself. It's always trying to survive. It's always trying to put its best foot forward. And you know, you have to love it, because if you don't love your body, nobody else will love your body the way that you can. So it's very important to you know, not just be proud of it, but to take good care of it.
Yeah.
And it's actually more important to be healthy, whatever that means to you, than it is to look good.
Yeah.
And when you're healthy, looking good is just it's just a natural, I guess. It just impacts how you look. So yeah, I would say that I think that if you have, it's very important to have a lot of love and respect for your body, and to cherish it, and to put it, to really be intentional about that, because if you don't do it, it's very easy to be influenced by outside factors and voices. And then just, it's something that you always have to work on as a woman, as your body changes, because you might find that you're just getting to accept your body and then you have a baby, or you might have an illness that you have to go through, or you might have this or that, you know, and your body changes through life, or you might get wrinkles or all sorts of things. So I think it's very important to constantly work on how you view and how you relate to your own body and to others as well.
Absolutely love. I think one thing I would share was, I think you're enough. You are beautiful, and I think not changing who you are just to make people happy, and I think actually loving the woman you are and the soul, and knowing that your body is just literally a body. You are a woman, you are a spirit. Your spirit and your mind and your heart speaks louder than the body you are.
That's real.
The body is just what you see, but what you
a
feel.
vessel.
Yes, my sister, a vessel. A beautiful vessel. We all have beautiful vessels. But do you know what I mean?
That's beautiful, sis.
I think when you speak to someone's heart, you know, you feel.
Yes.
You feel their presence, and you feel. I think that's the most important thing. And I think if you have troubles with body image and how you view yourself, I think look in the mirror and actually say to yourself that you are beautiful. And you may not feel it, but saying those words to yourself,
it works.
It works, and it makes a difference.
Beautiful.
And by saying that, you are actually saying it to your soul. And you are changing your mindset already. And therefore you are a superwoman. And you can do anything you want. And I just want people just to know that whatever they are, whoever, whether they're lanky with beautiful shoulders, or whether a mother or a beautiful, you know, top heavy, small bottom kind of girl, that we are beautiful. And that we shouldn't let society depict the expectations of our beauty. And that our heart and that our spirit and our voices is more important, and is the key to our true inner peace and happiness. And I think that's what's the most important.
Thank you, sister.
I'm so passionate about it.
I love it.
Gosh,
that's really cool. I think what I've learned is that, like, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. Like having a pretty hectic training schedule. When I have a rest day, I feel so guilty, and I'm like, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to rest. I need to keep working. Like, I need to. It doesn't matter if I'm killing myself. Like, it doesn't matter. I need to work and keep working. But that's actually not kind to my body, because my body serves me 6-7 days a week. And when I'm in training, it serves me 5 out of 7 days a week, and that those 2 days off are deserved. And that ultimately comes down to me not being kind to myself and my body, because I'm like, it's not good enough. And like, you know, just hearing those kind of gems is like really encouraging, because I'm like, I need to speak those words, not being like, this isn't good enough. It's like, no, what I've done is enough, and today I deserve like a day up, and that is because I want to be kind to myself.
Even God rested.
And like, comparison is a thief of joy. It's pinned the most on Pinterest. But like, it is something that I've really been reminding myself, like, not in just every sphere of life, but more so like body image, is that comparison is a thief of joy. My body is a vessel, and my body is merely a body because it protects a heart, a soul, and a spirit inside of it. And that, like, there's more to me than the skin though, that I'm covered with. So those will be my learnings.
That's amazing. My learning out of all of this would be just to accept your body and the transition your body goes through. You go through it as a child into puberty, that's one transition, and then from puberty into womanhood is another transition, and then womanhood into motherhood is another transition. Our bodies go through more transition as a woman than men do. You need to accept that. And like, you might be like me, have to accept that your body's not the same that it was 4 years ago prior to childhood and maybe married life too. But that's just the phases that your body goes through, and learn to love yourself through every transition. You know, my thing out of this, I want my daughter to look at this at 15 years old, and God forbid she ever goes through any of that and ever doubts her self-worth, but just to see like the love that we have for our bodies and ourselves, like that is everything. And have the confidence of a fucking queen through all the transition.
Yes.
Royalty. And that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Yes, cheers to that.
Cheers, sisters. Love you.
I've got a bit of a sprinkle. We also want to say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's our last episode for 2018.
Yes,
It is. But it's
been
been so
awesome.
fun.
I can't wait to keep doing it.
I know, we can't wait to keep doing it. It's been the best journey.
Yeah.
I don't think we thought it. We didn't think it was going to be this fun when we first started.
Didn't really think it through, but it's been going amazing, and it's really encouraging to hear people's feedback. Like even just random people that I see, for example, at work or at church, like people I don't see every day, and to hear their feedback, it's been awesome, And so I'm thankful.
Yeah, so reassuring that we are exactly where we're supposed to be in this season of our lives, doing what God has purposed us to do. So that being said, we wish you all a very happy holiday.
Yes, remember the reason for the season.
Starts with J, ends with S. If you haven't figured it out, it's Jesus. We love you so much.
Love you.
Bye.